Hello, hello. I'm going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode 16, Chicken and Waffles. Now, we start the show off with Shamia and girl, producers. I'm guessing she was white, okay, because she asked Shamia, why your daughter so greased up? And they showed a clip, she at the doctor's office with the babies getting Shiloh checked out and everything. She thought she had strep throat, so she trying to make sure that she didn't pass it on to the baby, because the baby got all her things. So, we got to keep everybody healthy as good as possible. But, yeah, black community, we all know about it. Well, I just put regular lotion on my face, but usually I throw a little bit of shea butter on top of that. I go outside, it's gonna be shining and glistening, same as Vaseline. That's everybody remember their mamas rubbing them down, especially in the wintertime. Okay, you greased up, baby. So she is actually negative from strep throat. Grenada made her sick. Let's say messing around that jab. Who knows? Was she kissing somebody by accident? I'm just playing. She is a married woman, okay? Portia probably did though. But anyway, she talks about the surrogate. They did follow through with the procedure for her to, carry the babies and that, but her body didn't take. So they are going to, go back to the drawing board and start over eventually. But at the moment, just kind of take a break, and reevaluate things and, what they already got going on in their life. But eventually they will get that boy because he wants a boy. We go over to Phaedra's house and she got her kids, Dylan and Aiden. It took me a minute to figure out the other name because I know it was one of them was Aiden, but I couldn't figure out the other one. Dylan, little Dylan, was he Mr. President? I can't remember either one. He into fashion, okay? So mama, of course she got like a million jobs. So of course got to pass that motivation, down, that entrepreneurial spirit to the children, so they can grow up and do what they got to do, expand their horizons, be creative, but also making money at the same time. Okay, so he wants to be a little designer, which is cool. I think this was Dylan being a designer, make your own pants, because he had an incident happened where he couldn't fit something. So she said, well, you make it yourself. And, that's what he did. So she's going to keep nurturing that little thing that he got going on. Aiden will be his manager, brobrager. And she's going to throw a showcase event for not just the ladies, kind of everybody in the public. Is going to be a black glove shopping experience at one of her friends' stores. And at the same time, she can show off Dylan and what he got going on. We go over and see what Kelly got going on, and she was trying to go get a divorce, okay? She go to the courtroom, and she comes out, she's still still married. Unfortunately, they went over the time limit. I think they were only supposed to have court till noon. Time went on, which made them have to have a continuance, which means, we didn't solve nothing, okay? So, of course, she's all sad about it, this and that. Shamia comes over for comfort, for support. They talk about it. Angela calls, like, oh, I'm just calling to give you some support. And, obviously, pretty much all the ladies know what she's going through and all these things. So everybody's taking a little time to individually reach out or not. And she just lets them know, this and that happened. And he got to go back to jail until they basically have the next court date, is how I'm thinking that works, right? Because of the... I forget, was it the restraining order or something she put out on him? Something, either way, child support. But he was locked up, right? But he come out for the court, but he had to go back. So that's kind of sad. Look, sad for him. He said, dudes, they know how to, that man, he is really putting her through the ringer. Just for you to sit in jail, like, you see how, like, that's real crazy for him. Like, I know I kind of don't like them talking about him because he's not here to defend himself, even though we don't really need none of his defending. But you know what I mean. It's better to have two of the stories, going on. But dude, you are locked up and everything. Don't you think that this is a sign that maybe you might need to quickly end this divorce in the most simplest of matters? Just give your kids what they deserve and then just go. That's all you have to do, man. Just give your kids what they deserve and go. That's what I hope Ralph would do too when it comes to Drew. Stop messing around with Drew. See, they forgetting about the kids because they fighting each other. We just need to do what we got to do so the kids are straight and then move the fuck out. Lord. So I can't remember if it was Angela or Shamir or whoever did she hang. She probably hung up with Angela at this point. But where's Brittany? Did Brittany call? This and that. Nope. I ain't talked to Brittany since Grenada. Okay? Not a text, not a call, not an email, not a flower. Nothing. And she know what I'm going through. And I would expect her to be the first one. Definitely the last, if not, and not at all. At this point, they show Phaedra passing out her invites to her showroom. Technically, they don't pass them out. They usually send somebody to send them out to everybody. Knock on the door, open it. Oh, what is this? A little letter. Oh, this is so cute. Of course I'll go. And like I said, it's going to be at the Ivy showroom. She knows the owner personally. I think she said she is her attorney as well. So people can shop, do what they do, collect some money, and then also they get to see, Aiden and Dylan and what they got going on at the same time. So at this point, we are going to the Williams Simona cooking showroom. Hopefully I got the name right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But Williams Simona. Kelly, obviously, she's a chef or whatever, restaurant owner. She likes to cook. That's her thing. But, it's this hearsay that Charles can throw down, So, Charles, can you really cook? Are you better than me at cooking? So she invites us, some of the ladies. We got, Angela and Charles, obviously. Drew, Phaedra, and some friends around the way. And it's going to be a little cooking competition. All the friends and, whatever here at the table is going to be the judges. And in the midst of this, of course, Angela being her little, the pot stirrer, if you will, because she the one that pot stirred Portia and Shamia stuff. So, yeah, where Brittany at? You talk to Brittany? I don't see her here. Why she ain't here? Huh? What's going on? Trying to get all the orders. And, of course, Kelly trying to tell her, well, I just ain't spoke to her. I'm just focusing on me and, things like that. So we flip over the camera and we go to Brittany's house. While Kelly and them is doing the cook stuff, Brittany actually invited Portia and Cynthia over to her house to try to extend the olive branch, Oh, well, I'm going to take Phaedra's advice and just try to get to know the ladies, So invite them over, kiki, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and see where we can take this, So they get to talking about Grenada. Mind you, we at Brittany's house, okay? So we talking about Grenada and this and this and that. Was it Portia or Cynthia? I can't remember. But either way, they ask about Kelly and stuff, like what's going on with that. So Brittany goes on to explain to them that it was about the glam squad. Basically, we was using the same team because Brittany is saying we using the same team. Okay, her terminology, we using the same team, versus Kelly is I lent her my team. So technically it's Kelly's team. Okay, but we using the same team. But somewhere along the way in Nashville, things got scrambled up, and now she told them that I can't work with her. No, that I cannot work with them anymore. So now I'm like, let's, all this over some glam team, right? But then come to find out, she let Shamia use the glam team. So how would you do if you ain't want me to use it, as if you didn't want nobody else to use it, but then you just gonna go and let her use it. So of course everybody looking like, yeah, that don't sound right. Portia, why would Shamia, like, hmm. And it's in the midst of all this conversation, Brittany decides to let Portia and Cynthia know that, hey, well, she been talking about you and, some of the other ladies and this and this and that. Like, I got text messages to prove that, yeah, she ain't really y'all friends either, because she talking mess and I got it all. So, of course, Portia's like, really? Well, obviously she's a bit upset about it, but this is more because they did make up at some point. They started off a little rocky with the you stealing people's husbands and stuff, but they came back around, and so she thought they was on a good standing. So technically this could be stuff before they made up, to be honest. But because Brittany ain't putting timelines and stuff, you might want to put the timeline on things so that we can understand where, who, and what's coming from. Because if it was before, understandable. But if it happened after, okay, girl, I see you, right? So of course, Phaedra like, okay, but what's she gonna blow up? She just kind of blowing over just a little bit, because technically this is Brittany's beef. So it's like, Brittany, I just want you to do what's best for you in this situation, but I'm just going to stand back, unless I need to say something. Okay. So we flip back over to Kelly in the cooking competition. They get done. I can't even remember what they made. Was it fish? Was it stick chicken? Was it something? I don't know. But it was really, really good. All the people enjoyed it. I think it was like a very, very stiff competition. But the winner goes to Charles, okay? So everybody's happy. Woo, Charles, you got it. We flip to confessional. Angela trying to say, yeah, I can cook just as good as Charles, can I, babe? I mean, you know how to walk around the kitchen. Right? So listen, I'm sorry. I know everybody keep like, Charles ain't no good, Charles. Let the man be him, okay? I don't see nothing wrong with him. I just think it's the camera. Like, for me personally, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna rag on Charles like, oh, he ain't no good, he this and that. Look at the way he treating her, because we don't know. We only seen little 30 seconds, little 2 minutes here and there, and I think it's just really the camera that's got him acting awkwardly. So randomly, we was kind of like doing like a shot moment, hey, let's take a shot, cheers type thing. And some guy, look, some messy sissy, I ain't supposed to say that, but he was being messy, so I'm gonna say it because y'all was thinking it. But gonna come up and say, we gonna take a shot to Charles cheating on Angela. And everybody was like, what? Boy, get him out of here, because what is going on? So Angela was keeping it cool, held it together like, excuse me, Charles, on the other hand, he over there, he messing around with the dishes and shit, so he don't even hear it. So she like, whoo, I'm so glad he ain't hear it, because Charles got a little temp, and I ain't want him to go there, okay? So we're gonna nip this for right now, and we can, we'll come back. So after that little skerfuffle, Phaedra ends up I think, was she leaving first or something? But either way, she was leaving, so the cameraman followed her. She gets to the car, and the first thing she decides to do is, I'm gonna call Portia, right? So she called her. I don't know if it was FaceTime, whatever. But girl, I got the tea. You just ain't gonna believe what just happened. We had this cooking thing with Kelly and Charles and them, and some dude done came up and said that he was that somebody was cheating on Angela. Charles being a cheating. Ooh, girls, all types of stuff. You done missed it. So while she doing that, Portia's like, yeah, I'm with Cynthia and Brittany, so they all on a speakerphone trying to listen, like, yeah, this and that. Who is this man? And like, girl, we don't even know, but some random dude, this and that. So they kind of get their little kiki, being nosy, little information right there. That's what it was. Cheers if your name is Charles and you... Oh no, cheers if your name is Angela and your husband is cheating on you. It reminded me of that show, Your Husband Is Cheating on You. I kind of wish they bring that back. Or at least the dude in his production, maybe not the actual play, but just so we can just, I like that whole team dynamics. So we get to the next scene, and it's actually the event. Phaedra's Black Glove shopping event at the Ivy showroom. Everybody is, I think it's black tie attire for the event, because a lot of people were actually wearing black, or was it just a black party? I'm not sure, but either way, everybody looked pretty decent, looked good. Angela, that hair. So we already know she had a couple lifting issues, but this wet, slick back thing, girl, it was not it. It was so not it. So Portia calls before the event starts to let Phaedra know that she's not gonna be able to make it. Unfortunately, bad news. Her cousin Londi, Yolanda, aka Londi, passed away. So she's gonna have to be with family and things at this time, so she's not gonna be able to make it. Understandable. Angela shows up. Most of the ladies are here. They try to basically like, hey, look, Cynthia, girl, what happened at the party yesterday? I heard some stuff had happened. Like, what had happened with your husband and some dude and all this stuff, like cheating and like, what happened? So before Angela can get into the story, Brittany shows up, and it was kind of like a crickets moment, like, because Kelly just kind of ignored her, obviously, and everybody peeped it. So it's like, what's going on here? So Angela goes on to tell them that, look, I did my own little research. I found who Buddy was, okay? Don't nobody know who Buddy is, but I went and paid him a visit. I got some goons around here. Y'all don't sleep on me. Y'all don't know what I got. Connections, okay? Connections. So yeah, we found him. We paid him a visit, and basically he told us that he was hired to pull that stunt, okay? So she got his number. She know we looking out, and yeah, he messed up, because we gone. Now, I ain't got the invitation, so I don't know exactly what time everybody was supposed to be there, or if it was actually specified on the invitation that, hey, if you ain't here by 6 o'clock, we're going to close the doors and lock them, and you cannot get in, because we're going to start the show, and we don't want no interruptions, okay? Drew must have not have got that memo, because for some reason, like I said, she always mother-loving late. This time, she said, oh my God, I was stuck in traffic, and I got the proof to show y'all, like, look, and I sent her the text and like, tell her I'm gonna be late. Girl, Phaedra didn't get it. She didn't have her phone, and didn't nobody care. Okay, the show's about to start. They said, dang, Drew ain't here. Oh well, she's gonna be locked out because the doors is gonna be locked. And sure enough, doors was locked. Drew was outside with like maybe 5 other scragglers on the side, just waiting to get in. I ain't gonna lie, this was the only time I hollered at this episode, because I said, Drew, I hollered at her ass, so you a stupid bitch. Drew, you a stupid bitch. So as the party goes along or whatever, Brittany and Kelly actually speak, okay? And I will say that Kelly was kind of already on one before Brittany even got there, okay? Like her attitude was already checked, okay? They going back and forth. Well, you did this, and you said this, and I can't believe this, and you're not supposed to be a good friend, and what they do. And Brittany ends up breaking it down for us just a bit to say that, listen, Kelly, you're just jealous, okay? Because in Nashville, obviously, I had the better outfit, which, I actually thought Kelly's outfit was actually pretty cute, creative, because it was like a cow dress, whatever, like, because it was something different. So I ain't gonna say it was a bad outfit or nothing. Maybe accessory styling wise was a little off. Either way, listen, I ain't gonna be too technical on what they was wearing that day, but either way, Yeah, you was jealous of me from Nashville, and you're very insecure, and you begged me to work with your glam because you needed a sidekick and this and this and that. See, you're trying to hide behind all this, and you ain't. You're just a big old insecure girl, and blah, 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 right? I think no, Kelly wasn't walking away at this part, or was she? No, before she walked away, she gonna yell out, "Well, something about you and your pill popping roommate," okay? Which we're gonna, associate with her husband, okay? To try to say that what they not really married or he just a pill popper. Either way, they like, "Whoa, for real? I can't believe that." And then so as she walking away, Brittany said, "Oh no, says I a pill popper. What? Well, let's talk about all the abobos that you had while you was married." So everybody was like, "Oh Lord, no, Jesus, that's too much. That's too far, Brittany. You can't do that." Well, she's trying to say that I'm popping pills. So, what am I supposed to do? I'm gonna go low. So somewhere around this, we got them separated. Okay, we got to calm them down. I think Cynthia was over there with Kelly, and Shamia and them was over there with Brittany. Like, yeah, let's calm down. We in this event. We're not supposed to be doing this right now. Let's relax. Let's try to reset. But you calm down. You stay over here. You should stay over here. And let's get through this day. So we do. The show starts. The little timestamps clicks on the screen as we flip outside to Drew as the show starts to say, "Oh, because Drew ain't here. She outside." Oh, well, girl. Show starts. 45 minutes late. She should have been up in here. So she outside trying to kick it with the people. "Oh, you got some cute shoes. Oh, security got chicken. Let me get some of that." Girl, we have more fun out here than we did in here. Look, lying, girl. So about 55 minutes late, they actually open the door so that Drew can actually come inside. I want to say she actually missed the whole fashion show. It was a whole little fashion show of all the fashions of what people can buy or possibilities. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then her sons Dylan and Aiden came out and walked off their little designs to show everybody. And then everybody got to shop, I'll say it was actually very similar to Kelly's party that she had in the beginning. Was that the first party at the Chanel store or the Balmain store, and you got to buy some things or not? So Shamia pulls Brittany to the side and just was talking to her one-on-one, just trying to, ask her like, "Dang, girl, what she been going through with this divorce and all this stuff. Like, you couldn't even call or text or nothing. Like, come on now." And Brittany like, "Girl, I can't be fake. She doing all this talking behind my back and this and this and that. So why would I reach out to do any of those things? Because if the energy is off, I'm not going to try to engage in it, right? So I'm just gonna do me for now. Obviously let her hate on me like she wants to. I don't know, but it just looked like at this point no resolve. Okay, so but at least they were calm enough so we can get through the rest of the party. Phaedra, since all the ladies were gathered at this point, decides to let them know, "Oh yeah," because everybody kept asking, "Where Portia? Where Portia?" Oh, okay. So this is the perfect time to tell y'all, Portia couldn't come because, Miss Londi had passed away, so she got to be with her family and she can't be here. This and this and that. So prayers up, R.I.P. Hopefully she's her and her family doing all good and well and all that good stuff. And this was the end of the show. That was pretty much it. I think next week is the finale, and then we're gonna get the reunions. Lord, I'm kind of dreading the reunion because I just don't know what to expect, knowing that we're not gonna have no Kenya and we're not gonna have no Brittany. The people that are left, what are we really gonna talk about? Shamia and Portia's friendship. Okay, most of that has spilled off into the blogs. Kelly and Brittany, okay, we can finish that off because only one episode, we ain't gonna get all the rest of the details. Drew and her divorce with Ralph, that nigga's still married in the basement. So girl, what you got to talk about with that? Oh yeah, Portia and her divorce with Simon, we already know what happened. So girl, boom. Angela versus maybe Phaedra, because You know, like I don't know what they can actually talk about, but that's gonna be my guess. And a couple other little fill-ins because Andy loved to play a couple little games here and there. And maybe stretch it to a 3-parter when it probably should just be 2. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. It probably shouldn't even have been this long, but I just be talking, so it doesn't matter, right? Thank you. Peace out. Till next time.